Unit 4, Recording 2.
Hello and welcome to Arts Review. In tonight's programme, we look at a rather surprising answer to the question, how many stories exist? You might think that there are hundreds or thousands of different stories in literature, theatre and film, but experts like to put the number rather lower, anything between 1 and 12. Now, in a new book, Christopher Booker says that there are exactly 7 basic plots, and every story in the world can fit into one of them. Before we review his book, here are the 7.
Plot 1. Overcoming the monster. In this story, the hero or heroine has to battle and defeat a monster. This could be a real monster, for example Dracula, or it could be a person, such as a villain in a James Bond film. The monster is defeated, the hero is victorious, the community is saved, and order returns to the world. Most detective stories are actually variations on the theme of overcoming the monster.
Plot 2. Rags to riches. This idea is found in countless stories. It involves a very ordinary person, or someone that everyone thinks is normal, nothing special. Then during the course of the story, it's shown that this person is in fact extraordinary. Just think of the story of Superman, or any story of an ordinary person who ends up marrying someone rich.
Plot 3. The Quest. This features a main character who travels a long distance, often with companions, in search of a treasure or to do a brave or noble act. At the end, he or she succeeds and is rewarded in some way, often by keeping the treasure or sometimes by saving a community. Probably the best-known example of this is The Lord of the Rings. Interestingly, it's also often the basis of many computer games.
Plot 4. Voyage and Return. This typically tells the story of an ordinary person who is thrown into a completely strange and alien world, one that is outside their experience. Often they face dangers and difficulties and then have a thrilling escape back to their original situation. There was a TV series called Lost about people whose plane crashed on a desert island. That was a voyage and return story.
Plot 5. Comedy. This doesn't always mean humour, although the story can be funny. It's more about a situation which is full of mistakes and mix-ups. The whole story gets more and more confused until, at the end, everything is sorted out and there's a happy ending.
Plot 6. Tragedy. As its name suggests, this plot never has a happy ending. It's about what terrible things can happen when someone tries to get power or go against the system. This person often has a weakness in their character, and this weakness is the reason that everything ends badly. There are lots of examples in theatre, such as Romeo and Juliet, who fall in love although their families hate each other.
Plot 7. Rebirth. This plot is about a person in a dark and difficult situation. Maybe they've lost all their money, or their job, or they're in prison. Or perhaps he or she is unpopular or has an unpleasant personality. Then, a series of events happens, often amazing events, and the situation or the person changes, so that the character becomes a kind of hero, a very positive character.
So that's all 7. Before we go on to discuss these, there's an interesting quote from the American novelist Kurt Vonnegut, who claimed